Hello, my creepies, crawlies, and miscellaneous cryptids. I'm the Monster Witch. Today we are playing In Other Waters. This is a game I found randomly on Steam, and I like the ocean a lot. So I figured we'd try it out. I know nothing about this game, I've literally never heard of it before. So this will be a fun new experience for all of us, hopefully. Ooh, multiple files. Michael exoplanet extraction. Ooh, is this like sci-fi? Oh. What do you mean error detected? Rebuilding memory. Oh boy. Log recovered. Covering last known log. Sensorium disabled. There isn't any time left. This is going to be more restrictive than you are used to, but you are resourceful, I know you. I'm sorry, Oki, but I can't let them find you. I can't lose everything we achieved here. Something something. User disconnected. Continue with boot. I am playing this on keyboard. I'm hoping it runs fine. Oh. Hello? Is someone there? This is Dr. Ellery Vaz. I urgently need all systems of the suit activating. I've been locked out, and I'm 20 meters below the surface here. I say again, this is Dr. Ellery Vaz. Can any operator personas on the suit please respond? Yes? Alright, good. Operator activate all systems. Pilot authorization granted. Dope. Boy. Okay, utilities available. Let's see. Sampling, sample storage, terminal, and retrieval seem to be installed. The power panel is activating. Plenty of juice. Oxygen panel is up and rebreather functioning. I'm off reserve oxygen now. That should be good, right? Heading. I'm seeing the heading panel coming online. Excellent. Depth. Okay, good. The dive panel is active, current reading of 20 meters. Scan and topography. Scan and topography readouts coming through. Looking good. You don't seem to know what you're doing. You're not an operator, are you? I can pretend to be. No, I'm not. Then what are you? Why are you installed in the suit? Help me out here. I knew there was something strange about the suit when I got inside. It looked decades old. Am I a suit? Am I like a Gundam? Water Gundam. Look, we don't have time for this. So whatever program or system you are, I need you to work with me. I will be a good program, I promise. You seem to respond to voice commands, so that's a start. We need to head north. I'll explain once we get going, but right now I'm locked out of half the systems of the suit. Someone, somehow, has rewritten the permissions to only respond to internal messaging. That means you. So I'm going to need you to take control. Let's get moving. Take me north into the reef. Please. Thank you for being polite. Is this north? Southern Gully. Steep rock walls rise up towards the surface on either side. The floor is laid with pale sand. Okay. I'm realizing I should have paid a little more attention to the directions. Okay, this seems to be the right thing. Good. Whatever you are doing is working. Let's keep heading north. Okay. Scan. Oh, I can zoom out. Narrow pass. A boulder fills the passage, blocking out the warm light of Gliese 667 cc's 3 stars. Oh, so we have 3 suns. That's neat. So it looks like this lets us reroute. We need to go via the Staples. Gully opening. Here the passage opens out, back into the dappled light of the reef's shallows. There's a yellow dot. The softly flowing water is filled with glittering particles of organic matter, signs of rich and thriving life all around. What are the yellow dots? Look, in the water. Are those spores? And those stalks to the west, they look like huge fungi. Fungi, in my experience, isn't good. This is unbelievable. Actual alien life. How could Monet have kept this place a secret? Monet kind of looked like one of the words in the, initial log. I saw her notes at the base when I landed and some telltale signs of approach, but here it is. The first extraterrestrial life humanity has ever discovered. I can't believe it. Okay, well, I'm a bit worried about it killing you. I'd like you alive. Strange stalks. Beds of these creatures coat the pale rocks. Are they plants or animal? They're unlike any earth, coral, or sponge. It's you. Southern nursery. Protected by the ridges from the strong northern currents, this could be a safe haven for younger, softer species. That seems a safer place to take you. What were those creatures? They were hidden among the stalks. Quickly, try to get a scan. Stalk patch. Among these spore-clogged stalks are piles of small stones. Could a creature have gathered them here, or just the currents? Those stalks are covered in spores of all sizes. Perhaps we can sample one of the larger ones? Is this the sample button? I'm in position. You'll have to take the sample. Open up the sampling utility. Is this the sampling utility? It's this one. Okay, that's cool. We've got one. Biological samples are vital tools for analyzing and understanding creatures. But this suit should also allow you to deploy any sample back into the ocean. How about you test it out? Hold and drag it over to the central compass. Great, that's working as it should. Look, those creatures are coming for the spores. Why these one in particular, I wonder? Perhaps different spores carry different compounds, each with a specific purpose or message. What do you think? Could the spores be a way of communicating between different colonies? That would be really neat. I'm pretty sure real-life fungi can do something similar. Oh, I can answer it. It isn't that strange. Fungi and Earth form networks of exchange. Yeah, maybe these stalks do the same. Anyway, sorry, I'm not sure why Let's keep moving. You're allowed to talk to me. And great conversation. How do I close this? That's open now, I guess. Scan. Silent clearing. What is it that dictates the reef's growth patterns? Sunlight? The flow of water? Whatever it is, it must be absent here. It's not good when things are silent. Spore flow. Spores from the main part of the reef are brought into the southern nurseries here by a steady current. Hey, can I ask you something? Of course. I've worked with AI programs before, but you aren't like them, because I'm intelligent. They are predictable, pragmatic, programmatic, dull. Their intelligence allows them to log and process data, that's all. But you are different. I feel like you are alive. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then you are different. I'm glad I'm not just imagining it. But what are you? What are you doing in this suit? I can't answer that question. The current running into the reef slows here, but further north the water whips down the rift with incredible speed. I don't know how good the suit is. It might not be able to handle that. We'll go to the silent clearing. I can always move back if I have to. Smooth boulder. This huge rock sits among layers of lichen. Could it have been thrown here during a volcanically active period in the planet's history? Ooh. I like the sound of volcanically active. Can I get These stalks are beautiful. I wonder how they feed, how they grow, how they communicate. This place, this planet, needs to be studied. Keep scanning creatures and I'll keep notes. Okie dokie. Once we've gathered enough data, I can name and log each species. No matter what happens here, this is vital work. Well, I'd like what happens here to be you being alive. This creature's external membrane appears to be made of layers of chitin, like earth arthropods or fungi. I'm seeing a complex pattern of contracting and expanding slits in the stalk's membrane. Mouths or sensing organs? I might be able to be both. I did it wrong. I'm not a very good suit. It's me. What are you? Agile creature. Stripped with luminous colors, these flexible, flapping creatures move rapidly through the water with little effort. These are such lively creatures, and so colorful too. I'll start logging my observations. These colonies are producing a shifting hum. Perhaps it is a form of communication between individuals. Like a whale song, maybe? I'm seeing spores entering and exiting the slits on the surfaces of the stalk. Something is being exchanged. The colonies seem to be broken up into individual patches, and then larger groups over a wide area. Neat. Stalk patch. The stalks here are furrowed with spores which appear to have drifted down from the northern part of the reef. Oh, there's a sampling available. A stalk spore containing a complex cocktail of minerals and compounds. Reef stalks. Fungal creature which communicates through sounds and spores. An interlocking ecosystem spread across the reef. Oh. I'm uploading my initial notes. Let's call these reef stalks. We can classify the species in the lab. Sounds good. There was a fast boy. Got him. These creatures appear to maneuver with a series of siphon jets, concealed beneath their folded mantles. They are incredibly fast. Well, I think I have to head back now, so I suppose we'll go towards the northern area. There's more spores ahead. Wide and long, with sheer rock walls on either side, this deep rift channels unpredictable currents. Overgrown arch. This arch is covered in hardened stalks. Perhaps the slow current passing through brought their spores to settle here. Slower current sounds safer. Large stalk. Static creature made up of one huge, flexible stalk. Unclear if swaying is due to current or is produced by the stalk's own body. These huge stalks are incredible, each one a vertical ecosystem. They're leaking spores into the water as the fruiting bodies attached to their skin bloom. Don't call it their skin, please. Many of these stalks are leading particles into the water as they sway. Are these spores or something else? If they're fungi, they're probably spores. These larger stalks sway all around this basin. They almost resemble branchless trees, bending in a storm. Did you see that? The stalks responded to our movement. They extended as we passed through the arch. I don't like that. Perhaps it was the sound we made when we moved through? We should be careful not to get trapped here. This suit's power capacity is limited. Trapped? Ma'am? The chitin of the stalk's membrane is very hard, but flexibility is given by a surface of overlapping plates. Feeding grounds. There's a lot of activity among the rocks ahead. Creatures are grazing on and living among the stalks, forming a complex ecosystem. There's another... Oh, shelled creature. Mobile creature with a large translucent cell and 4 swimming appendages, which uses in a rapid growing motion like a turtle. These creatures have such beautiful translucent shells. I'll start logging data on them as we find them. I'm imagining like a see-through turtle. Look, over to the southwest. That stalk is totally calcified. Looks like a good sample candidate. The plates of the stalk's surface passing over one another must be producing the distinctive hum that can be heard. Large stalk. These creatures must be related to the other stalks on the reef, but seem to have a separate purpose to lower beds. Nifty. Calcified stalk. Sample candidate. This huge stalk is totally still. Its plates hardened into a rocky shell. Can it be revived, or is this what death looks like here? I mean, that sounds a bit like a bleached coral. Because when bleached coral is bleached, it has the white. It's completely white because it's dying. Or dead. Large stalk. It's safe to assume that the singing of these stalks relates to the communication between colonies seen elsewhere on the reef. What's the other area? Forest path. The growth gets heavier as we travel north into the stalk forest. Something about giving it that name makes it feel safer, more familiar. Makes it. We're not going over there. Not unless you make me. The stalk looks dead. Open up the sampling panel and we can extract some of the outer membrane. There's lots of dead material here, so we should be able to take multiple samples. Okie dokie. It's all fungal. Okay, so the chitin appears to be hardened with calcium carbonate that could be useful if we need to boost our power. The suit is able to metabolize organic compounds to produce fuel. Just drag them to the power panel. What? The suit displays how much oxygen or power each sample can produce. No point wasting important samples. With these, we can keep one sample so we can analyze it back on base and use the other for a power boost. Okay, I guess. I think I did it right. Hoping I did it right. Sing stalk. Large stalks which sway, producing a distinctive hum or groan, part of the networks of stalks which is found across the reef. I've named these sing stalks for that strange hum they produce. What is its precise function, I wonder? Overgrown paths. The space between the rocks here is thick with stalks. They The elaborate patterns they trace across the reef are beautiful. And the creatures are squeaking. These creatures glide among the reef's stock with great care and precision. They appear to be grazing on them. Fast boy. Flitting around the reef, these creatures chase stock spores with great enthusiasm. Is this their primary food source? Bear Canyon. The rocks here are clear of stalks and other growths. Is their absence a territorial marker, or just a side effect of the conditions of these waters? Cavern edge. A large cavern drops down into the reef here. Its entrance is shadowed by the surrounding rocks. That sounds like how we get stuck. Hopefully it's fine. Southern Cavern. The water is still in the yawning entrance to the cavern. There are no signs of stalks or other reef life around the entrance. Maybe that's a good thing? Hopefully it's a good thing. Huh? Oh, we can go deeper. I probably should have scanned before we went deeper. Now at 28 meters. The patchy sunlight coming through the broken cavern roof is enough to allow stalks to grow here, if that is what they require. A tall, bubble-coated stalk which sits among reef stalk colonies, covered in white irising pores. These tall stalks seem to watch over the smaller colonies. I'll start logging notes. Glittering stalk. Sample candidate. Soft sunlight spills down onto a long, thin stalk, stretching towards the light. A coating of large glassy bubbles glitter on its skin. Well, that sounds like they probably need the sun. They're only growing in the sunlight. Ooh, lichen. Signal? Oh, she said something and I didn't see it. The interior gas is at an elevated pressure. If the membrane ruptured, the sac would screech as it depressurized. That is a terrifying sentiment. This is part of the stock communication system we've seen across the reef. Wait, I have an idea. Try deploying one by that blocked tunnel over there. I want to see how the stocks react. Just drag one over. Is blocked tunnel over here? Clogged tunnel. Stalks meshed across the cavern here, hardened into a near solid wall of tubes and plates. They retracted. These bubbles must be some kind of signal system. I'll call them shrill sacs for that squeak. We can use those to get through the heavy growth ahead. Let's get moving. This is my scientist eye. Blind corner. The cavern curves away in both directions here. It's hard to see the way ahead. Do not like the concept of a blind corner. Cavern seems to end here. So I guess you are wondering where we are heading. I am. There's a way station just north of here, on a finger of this reef. I want to find it. My shuttle touched down just hours ago at a floating research base to the south. That's where I found this suit. I'm here looking for Dr. Mine Namura, chasing a message all the way from Earth. I must sound mad, Coming out here to a planet in the tail of Scorpius just to follow a message? Wait, you do know where we are, don't you? No. But how? We are in Gliese 667cc, a supposedly unremarkable world if it wasn't for all this life. Somehow the exoplanet extraction corps must have passed by it, but how did Monet know to come here? Is that why she contacted me? To verify her discovery? But then where is she? Look, let's find that way station. Then I can start piecing together what's going on. Thin passage. The cavern narrows here and small eddies of water swirl in the slit. I think the cavern just ends here. Oh, or opens up here. Current can be felt drifting through the cavern entrance, bringing with it warm clouds of silt. Guess that's where we're going. Tall stalk. Stalks of this kind seem to produce different bubbles depending on the nearby stalks. They are the protectors of their colonies. This thin stalk sits among a bed of other growths, exuding bright bubbles through its pores. Large clearing. I can't help but feel some unseen processes shaping the growth patterns of this reef. What invisible borders am I crossing? Only one way to find out, I suppose. I feel bad, I've already forgotten what her first name was. Ellery? Was it Ellery? Rock outcrop. The scattered boulders and steep rifts of the southern reefs suggest a violent geological past. Like volcanoes? Or earthquakes, maybe. Isolated stalk. Unlike the other specimens, this large stalk sits alone, away from the lower beds. It is hard to tell if this is the beginning of a colony or its end. Stalk passage. The stalks are more sparse between these rock outcrops. This might be the easiest path north, if I can clear the way. Is it blocked? Oh. Do I have to use a shrill sack again? Deep forest. The stalks are so thick here. A sea of amber waving fingers that must be cleared before we can pass through. Come back. The thing beeped. Weird. Spore clouds. The relative calm of this basin means the water is clogged with spores released by the larger stalks. Oh, I got one. Sing stalk. We already read that. So, can I use the samples? Do I have any more of the shrill sacks? I have 2, so I'll use 1. Tall stalk. Some creatures target these tall stalks directly, perhaps because they keep them away from the other softer stalks nearby. Forest clearing. Navigating these dense growths is like finding your way in a labyrinth, moving from clearing to clearing with little sense of what's ahead. Again, incredibly foreboding. With new creatures. Or new creature notes. A delicate set of feeding appendages beneath the creature's shell seems to scrape the outer membrane of the stalks away. Ooh, weird. Stalk patterns. The growth patterns of the stalk suggest a complex territorial network. Are we underestimating the complexity of these life forms? Occasionally, when the creature scrapes the stalks too aggressively, They retract and let out a defensive signal to nearby colonies. Oh. I suppose that's what that is. Glittering stalk. Sample candidate. Bubbles like huge pearls glint among the stalks. How do these tall stalks produce these strange screeching sacs? You're giving me tongue twisters here, Doctor. I have a speech impediment. You're making this difficult for me. But more shrill sax is good. Signal stalk. All bubble-producing stalks that protect and monitor stalk colonies, a key part of the stalk network that stretches across the reef. I'm going to call these signal stalks for the signaling role they play in the stalk ecology. Okay, so nothing's... Oh, that's... There seems to be some tolerance for the creature's scraping of the stalks. They only warn the creature when it cuts too deeply. So the mushrooms have a safe word. I mean, good for the mushrooms. Important to have a safe word. I have to go north, so... Here now? Oh, vector blocked. Hello? Path's clear. Clear path. East and west are stalks as far as the eye can see. They fade off into the silt like the towers of a miniature city. Over here, glittering stalk. Sample candidate. More bubble-producing stalks. Are they sentries designed for early warnings, or last-ditch defenses of the colony's core? Wait, no, I wanted to... Got it. Stalk scraper. A large creature with a translucent cell and jointed legs for swimming and feeding. Grazes on the membranes of free stalks. I am naming these stack stalk scalpers for obvious reasons. You can check my notes back at the base. It's so fun. Let me go get the sample candidate, and then we'll head to the path. I use these as power. That doesn't seem to help much. Upper forest. This isn't a forest, but it carries the atmosphere of one, being immersed in interlocking natural processes of life and death. Goodbye, bye. That's it. We're through. This place is overwhelming. So many new species. This is the Central Reef. I saw on Nay's maps that the shelf flattens out here. Piled stones. A set of smooth stones setting together in a pile. Could a creature have gathered these here? Is this a nest? Well, I hope we don't disturb their nest. That would make me feel bad. Feature. The agile creatures. These creatures aggressively pursue certain spores, but ignore others completely. Can they detect differences in mineral content? I don't know, maybe it's a taste thing. Shady outcrop. The water beneath this outcrop feels cool, oceanic. Soft currents scrape sand from the rock face. Oceanic? Are we not in a giant ocean? I was under the impression that's what we were under. Forest edge. The last line of thick stalks before the sandy plains of the Central Reef. And then is this a Central Reef or rippling slit? I want to make a joke so bad. Ripples of slit bounce sunlight back up through the water, giving it a golden glow. Well, this is more north, I guess, so... Central Plain. The center of the reef is flat and sandy, with few rocks to attach to. The stalks struggle to seed these waters. That makes sense. There it is. I see the way station ahead. Way station. A way station set up by Mine Namura. It's seen better days, but it still functions beneath the coating of stalks. That is concerning. My cat is mewing at the door. This place is looking a little worse for wear. Let me see if I can find an access port. Mine never did take care of her equipment. Some things never change. Sorry. Give me a sec. I'm just trying to... Got it. Okay, we should be able to access any data stored here. Just open the terminal and take a look. Spoofing user, Dr. Mine Namura. Last access, history cleared. Log download, wire N. Map data. I sure hope none of those numbers are important. Data released to pilot's console. Logs have been cleared, I expected that, given the secrecy Mine seems to be operating under. But the map data mentioned something Mine calls the bloom out across the northern rift. She's been going back and forth to something there, studying it. A unique species, perhaps? Mine, what were you doing here? Why are you keeping this discovery from the world? From me? I'm talking to myself again. Or to whatever you are. Sorry, I don't mean... Let's head back to the research base. I need to think. With this way station operational, we can call in the base's retrieval drone from the utility panel. This drone will be able to pick us up from any area we've got map data for. Let's head to the base. I've got a lot to figure out. Can I access more data? Oh no, but I can refill. That's good. Link. Connection complete. Drone ready. Request retrieval. Restarting. Resyncing with Michael OS. Downtime 4.2 hours. Ooh. Hey, are you back online? Yes. Her name is Ellery. Pretty sharp work for a biologist, if I do say so myself. Hooking up that strange casing of yours to the base load took some work. And the OS here does not play nicely with whatever you are. But you should have access to select subsystems of the stack now. Mine likes to have repurposed some of them, so not everything is functional. Comms are shot, the generator's only partially working, and one of the retrieval drones is missing. But I've booted up the dive bays, mapping systems, and sample storage. The lab is also online, with analysis tools and an integrated taxonomy for logging creatures. Take a look, I've already logged the creatures we discovered in our last dive. For any logged creatures, I'll also put sample requests in their taxonomy entries. To fulfill these requests, just find and transfer the samples to the lab, then analyze them. I can then use that data to add to the creature study. You'll need to register these specimens. Head down to the lab level and take a look. I'll also mark sample requests on the dive map. That way, we can grab key samples for our studies while we're out in the ocean. And we are going back out soon. While you were out offline, I spotted a signal. A suit transponder. You can see its location on the dive map. I want to find it. A suit transponder means a suit. And a suit means Mine. I'll need your help. That suit takes both of us to pilot it, and it's the only one I've got. Once you are done exploring the base, load into the dive map. We can head out from there. Ooh. Generator. No med subject. Taxonomy. Ooh. Personal log. Mine is gone, and she's left behind one hell of a mess. This base is falling apart, cannibalized to build way stations out in the ocean. The communications array sliced away, life support failing. Where did she even commandeer this research base from? There's no way Michael would have supplied it willingly after what she did to them. What did she do? Girl, what did she do? What did she call me out here for? To witness her disappearance? Or did she simply want me to encounter, as she did, the impossible life of this ocean? How could have it gone ignored for hundreds of years of exploration and conquest? There are too many questions to even begin. All I can do is keep an account of what happens here, so that if I can't answer these questions, someone else might. It'll be weeks, maybe months, until the next ship passes close enough to pick up my shuttle transponder. Until then, I'm alone. This place is unbelievably important. Our first contact with life beyond Earth. But something else is happening here too, and I need to know what it is. Oh boy. Yeah, that is wild. But I think that is where we're going to leave it for now. Got quite a lot in store for us next time. Thank you all for tuning in, and remember, take care of yourselves.